Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you, and today we're actually working in Evergreen Harbor in one of the Stonestreet apartments, and I feel like it's been forever since I actually decorated an apartment. I don't know why, I feel like it hasn't been that long, but it just feels that way. And I also feel like it's been forever since I did a voiceover. I think because I've had so many big sister challenges going up, and this week I also had my 1-year YouTube anniversary, which is still so insane to me. If you missed that video, be sure to check it out. I decided to basically remake my first video, which was a 10-minute build challenge, and honestly, I still haven't even had the heart to go back and watch my first video because I feel like it's I don't think it's awful, but I feel like I've learned so much over the past year that I probably would be like, oh my gosh, I would have done so many things differently, if that makes sense. But anyways, that's up on the channel if you want to check it out. And for this apartment, I don't know why, but I really wanted to use yellow, orange, and blue. And I don't know why that struck me as the color combination I wanted to use. And I wanted to do something really interesting with the kitchen. And I know that doesn't give you any kind of context for what I mean by that, but I kind of wanted this cute little I don't know what you'd call it, a peekaboo bar. I don't know if I want to call it that, but I feel like that's a really cute name for it. But I wanted to be able to see into the kitchen. I kind of wanted it to be closed off but open at the same time. And this also gave me the opportunity to use that lovely rose wallpaper, which I love so much and I feel like doesn't always fit into builds. And I actually, when I started, I was gonna do a 1-bedroom home and then maybe having an office, but I didn't end up making this a family home and adding in a bedroom for a teen, because I think when I was actually doing the floor plan, I realized this apartment was much bigger than than I was expecting. I feel like that happens to me so often when I'm building an apartment. I don't know what it is, but it just I don't know. I don't expect it to be that large. And honestly, recently, just building on my own, I have found that I make huge homes. I literally just, I don't know why, but I'm oh yeah, this will be fine. And then I get into it and I'm this is so big. This is so big. Right now I am actually working on something for my Big Sister Challenge, but it's a build. I am making a high school dorm thing, and y'all, it's such a big build. It's gonna take me so long to finish. But anyways, that'll be hopefully up on the channel next week. But I really was so excited about this living room, all of these warm, cozy tones, and used the couch that came with the high school pack. I just thought that looked so nice with the blanket draped over it, and it just gave me that really cozy vibe that I was looking for. And I actually used those. They look like poofs, but they actually work as tables in the game. But I actually used those kind of as the coffee table, and it had the really cool blue and orange zigzags on it, and I feel like I never get to use those. And the same thing even with this cabinetry, I feel like I never used that blue swatch, but it worked so perfectly, and I felt like the wood tones in those cabinets perfectly matched that of the fireplace. So I was so excited about that. I was really ecstatic when I was building, and then just finding some things to actually place in there and just making it feel really lived in. Do you know what I mean? Just having stuff kind of all over the place, but I feel like it wasn't too cluttered. I feel like honestly I've been super into cluttering lately. That's, I mean, no surprise. I do like to clutter, but I feel like even more so lately. I also have another build coming to the channel soon. I have so many, I have so many builds that are waiting for me to edit and take screenshots of. And anyways, this build had a bunch of little apartments in it, and I ended up making this it almost felt like a teen apartment almost, but there's so much clutter in it, y'all. I mean, it is insane. Anyways, I can't wait to show you that too. And I apologize for, I feel like I'm talking about all these other builds as I'm literally showing you this apartment build. But I really do just have so many builds that I'm excited to show you. And I also recently did a container home, a tiny home. Technically, I think it was a micro home by the game, which means it was 32 tiles. And it was a little bit of a struggle for me. Like I said, I feel like I've been making such large builds lately that it was like I really had to focus. But be sure to check that out too. I kind of struggled through that a little bit, and that one was a little bit different because I actually did it like with face cam, so it wasn't a speed build, but it was actually me like kind of stepping through that process. But I think it worked out really well. I also did it with a 10,000 simoleon budget, which, if you've seen me build, I use all of the simoleons. I use so much. This apartment actually comes out to be about 65,000 simoleons, which for me, I feel like is really affordable. I feel like all of my builds are like 100,000 simoleons or like 80,000 simoleons, just like a ton. And part of that, I think, is just like all of the clutter I use and just like making it feel so lived in. But I do also up on the gallery have like base game and starter builds as well. And speaking of the gallery, I actually have already uploaded this to gallery, so you can download it under my ID, Spice and Sprinkles, which is all lowercase and all one word, and down in the description if you want to check it out. But feel free to download this and place it. Of course, you can place it as just like a room on a lot and make it like a house, if that makes sense, or you can use it in its designated apartment. Of course, that is up to you. And of course, as usual, change it however you want to meet your gameplay needs. And I apologize, you can probably hear a dog. This voiceover, my neighbor just got a dog. I was literally just thinking before I started recording, I was like, I wonder if I can make it through this like 10-minute voiceover without the dog making noise, but I guess not. I haven't heard it all day, but it is doing it right now while I'm trying to record. And also recently, I had another neighbor who got this like super loud car, so you can of course hear it like while I'm also recording or like streaming and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, really? So anyways, I apologize for that. Hopefully it wasn't too distracting. And so here we are in the like parents' bedroom, and I did end up still putting an office in here, and I thought it was kind of neat. I ended up putting it kind of like in the parents' bedroom, so they can just kind of walk in there and have this really nice office space. And I will say the teen's bedroom also has a desk and a computer. So honestly, there's 2 computers in this lot. So like there's plenty for your Sims to do and, you know, to build skills or whatever they need to do. And I thought this little nook was just super cute. Like I put the little bookcase in it and the little basket, and I fell in love with this bed too when I saw this swatch. And it is from high school years, if you were wondering. And I was like, oh my gosh, the blue and orange, like this looks so gorgeous. I was so excited when I found it. And I feel like I used several like pieces from the high school years pack in this build, and specifically in this room actually. And those really cute candles there are from, I believe it was the Pastel Pop kit. And I did build this before we got like the new kits recently, which of course the review is up on the channel if you want to check that out. And if you want to see like the full version of it, it is up on my Twitch channel as a VOD, and we'll eventually make it to my VOD channel here on YouTube. I feel like I'm just behind. Like, I mean, there's stuff going up, but I just feel like I'm behind on the VODs. But anyways, I ended up having like, oh my gosh, I think it was like an hour and a half of footage just going through the bathroom kit, which was kind of crazy. So I narrowed it down, so it is a longer video, but I felt like I was being very like thorough with it and looking through all the swatches and that kind of thing. So if you want to see if you really want it, you know, be sure to check that out. And I also did make a video for the new cast kit, and it's not really my thing, just being cast in general, so that video is much shorter. It's like 13 minutes versus like, I think the building kit was like 38 minutes. So you can clearly tell I'm more of a builder than I am like someone who uses cast or even gameplay. But anyways, in this bathroom, it is such a big bathroom, and I ended up actually putting laundry in here as well. And I'm not gonna lie, it definitely took me a minute to figure out the layout of this bathroom. I actually ended up like pausing the recording, I believe, and cutting some of it out because I just kept rearranging it over and over and over again. And I was like, this is not entertaining at all. like to watch me go back and forth like this. But I do end up actually using this huge bathtub, which I was so excited. I feel like I always want to use it, but it's really hard to find builds that have room for it, especially like if you want to also have a shower in the bathroom, if that makes sense. And I did in this case, I wanted to have a shower and a bathtub and storage and laundry and a sink. Like, I've wanted to put all of these things in here. I don't know why, but I just really wanted it to be that way. And I ended up putting this shelving over the bathtub and just putting a bunch of clutter on it. I love the way it turned out. Like, I feel like it just looks so good in here. And I actually don't know if I've ever used this tile before, but it looks so nice. And this is the same tile I used in the kitchen, but I don't know, it just looked so good. I was so happy with it. And of course, I definitely would have utilized all of our new clutter that we just got in that bathroom kit, but I just didn't have it yet. And I've talked about this before, but this is just the red shelf. It helps me place things really specifically at a certain height. It is technically considered CC, but it is not in the build, so this build does not contain CC. I just like saying that in case you're ever wondering. That shouldn't be an issue, like nothing will be wrong with it, and it shouldn't be listed as a CC build. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that. And this is actually the teen's bedroom. This is actually, of course, like, is very cluttered. I put a lot of stuff in here. They have a desk, they have a guitar. I figured this sim is into music, and that's kind of what I went with. So a lot of the like art and stuff that I put on the wall or posters, I tried to make them all like music related to kind of have that theme. And now, like I mentioned before, of course, you can change it and do whatever you want in here and use whatever sim. You can take it out and, you know, make it, I don't know, another office if you wanted to. That's totally up to you. But I put like a ton of storage in here and just like a bunch of stuff. Like, I feel like a teen would really have just a lot of things everywhere. And I used a lot of these built-in kind of cabinets that came with the Dream Home Decorator kit because I just really like the way they look. And we put a little office space over in the corner for this sim as well. And I thought that laptop was just so cute with the little the rainbowy looking keys. Like, I really fell in love with that. And so again, I used a lot of yellow and blue tones in here, and I will say I ended up having to move that little laundry basket a little bit when I was taking screenshots and effectively play testing the build. I did have to move it because, I don't know, I also moved the clutter I'm going to put on the floor a little bit because the sim didn't want to get to the bed. I'm not exactly sure which piece it didn't like, but anyways, so things are a little bit scooted around, but you should be good. Everything's play tested, so you shouldn't have any issues. Of course, you know, the gallery likes to delete things and do whatever it wants to, and the sims just randomly don't like things. So with that in mind, things may not work properly. And if you download it, just be sure to have move objects on and place back any of the walls that were deleted, since I had to upload it as a room. And I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.